What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GRETT Show. I'm GRETT. El Clasico rarely disappoints from an entertaining standpoint, but fortunately for Madrid, unfortunately for Barcelona. That's 3 defeats in a row for Barcelona, 2 blown leads for both El Clasico matches that were played in La Liga this season, and now the second blown lead and embarrassing performance by Barcelona in 1 week. This is what went wrong, went right, and what Barcelona has to do moving forward and what has to change at the end of this season. So again, hats off to Real Madrid. I don't think they were the best team. I think Barcelona was the better team. But the better team, usually wins, so it's a very fine line, right? I think Barcelona played better. I think they should have won. They gifted Real Madrid 3 goals. Gifted them by poor defending. But at the end of the day, Real Madrid won, so I guess they are the better team. They're in first place in La Liga by 11 points. They're going to be coasting, and they're going to win La Liga. They're heading into the Champions League semifinal, and everything is aligning for Real Madrid to end the season with 3 big trophies. Barcelona was great for a lot of the match, and unfortunately it boils down to 3 poor mistakes, and I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but Joao Cancelo, the last 2 matches, is the reason that Barcelona conceded about 4 goals. The penalty to Dembele, even though it was an iffy call, he was in the box, and it's still a very, very strange challenge to make when he is in the box. He allows Dembele to also score far post on a cross where he wasn't marking. Same thing happened against Lucas Vazquez. They pass it across, he taps it right in, no defending. He wasn't anywhere near Lucas Vazquez. And then the penalty that Vinicius scored, he lets Lucas Vazquez beat him. A lazy challenge by Cabarsi, which resulted in the foul on Vazquez, which resulted in the penalty. So unfortunately, he is a huge reason why Barcelona conceded a lot of goals in the last few matches. He just seems like he wants to be more of an attacking player. And if he does, then he should go to a team where he can be a winger, because it doesn't fly here. I said it on the match preview that Cancelo needs to defend, and he can't play these bad crosses in and try and take these ridiculous shots. And again, I forget what half it was, but Cancelo gets the ball in the Real Madrid half and tries to shoot or cross, and it just completely goes out of bounds. Liability. Tries to beat Modric and someone else one-on-one, loses the ball in Barcelona's half, which resulted in Real Madrid having a great scoring chance. And then the other 2 goals were basically his fault. The last goal, if he was putting pressure on, I forgot who crossed it, that could have potentially eliminated the chance for Bellingham scoring too. So I like Joao Cancelo. I understand he's had a lot of heat, a lot of threats lately because of his performance and what happened in the PSG match. But big matches, you got to come up, and he's not coming up. So I'm really second guessing the decision of Barcelona to see if they're actually going to sign him permanently. And I kind of understand why Man City and Bayern Munich didn't sign him permanently. He's a liability from a defensive standpoint. No, there were some great moments for Barcelona. I mean, unfortunately, they didn't score the one that Lamine Yamal flicked in. I'm not going to say anything about the officiating. I mean, the ball was in the net. Now, just we couldn't see if the whole ball was over. I can't make a fair judgment. Now, my only complaint about this is we are in 2024. I don't care if it's the biggest match of the season. I don't care who's playing. We should be able to see the goal line technology and see that it's actually working. And the fact that that wasn't even available is ridiculous. Within a minute, we should have seen that, okay, it wasn't in. The ball wasn't 100% across the line. It's not a goal. That's fine. But I would have at least liked to see it. That's my only complaint. Lewandowski was a disaster. And in my previous video about this match, I said if he doesn't do anything by the 50th minute, you got to get him out of there. And I was surprised that Xavi took him off, because as soon as he took him off, everything opened up. There was more space, more runs being made. He's just a liability. And I understand if you're a fan. I was a fan of him too, but he just has a bad attitude. He's lazy. He's entitled. He's just not working out. And we got to save the money on his salary. It's a lot of money that we're paying him. I don't care if he has another year in his contract, or just sell him for 10 million. I'll take that, because it's extra money Barcelona has to work with, and he's a liability. We're at the point now where we don't have a Kylian Mbappe. We don't have these world-class goal scorers. We're just going to have to rebuild this attack. So it's going to have to be Lamine Yamal, let Vitor Roque play. The rest of the season, they should just start him, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, throw in Joao Felix, let him see how we can do, because Lewandowski is just, he's done. That's all there is to say. Thank you for your time here. We appreciate what you've done, but unfortunately, it's just not working out. Ferran Torres is another person where, again, it's nothing about this match. It's not the breakaway he missed, because apparently it was offsides anyways, but he's just not a game-changing player, and it's more money you can save, more money you can put towards someone else. He's not a world-class player. He's just a good player, nothing special. I think we should part ways. Cancelo, Lewandowski, Ferran Torres, easy. Just all 3 of them. Let him go. Now, Frankie de Jong is the interesting one. He was okay in the first half, and then obviously he got injured, but what's frustrating with that is he's somewhat, I don't want to say he's a liability from an injury standpoint, but he gets injured frequently enough where it imposes a little bit of an issue for Barcelona. And now with all these talks about the 80 million, 90 million potential money you could get for him, you really have to strongly consider it. He's a great player, and he's definitely gonna, and Barcelona will definitely miss him if he's gone. But they're 11 points down on La Liga. They get knocked out in the Champions League. They did win La Liga last year, but the last 2 seasons before that, they didn't even make it out of the Champions League group stage. And if you're telling me that Frankie de Jong is the only reason Barcelona was successful last year in La Liga, and he's the only reason they're going to have success, I'm going to disagree. The amount of money you can get for him, I think you can just use that along with the other money you're saving from Lewandowski and money you sell from Ferran Torres and money you save on spending on Joao Cancelo, you can put towards a really world-class young CDM and a left winger. That will be huge for Barcelona. It's really crazy because I would say Koundé was great for the most of the match. They shut down, and the rest of the defense was okay. There were literally 3 mistakes. Cancelo, and then I guess 3.5, Kubarsi's poor challenge and lazy challenge on Lucas Vazquez. But besides that, Vinicius was kind of shut down. He had a couple chances, but Rodrygo was non-existent. Jude Bellingham was kind of non-existent. He made a couple nice plays. He made one nice move and shot with his left foot. But besides that, I mean, he really didn't do anything the entire match, which is frustrating because he scores a tap-in at the far post when no one's marking him. And he's going to be seen as, oh my God, Jude Bellingham was unbelievable. He's the owner of Barcelona, blah, blah, blah. Barcelona just does it to themselves. It's so frustrating. They allow these teams, they allow Real Madrid to embarrass them, but they really just do it to themselves. Jude Bellingham in 2024 has been good, nothing special, and somehow he's still going to be seen as the Ballon d'Or favorite. I'll never get it. I'll never understand it. And if he wins the Ballon d'Or, I don't care what happens for the Champions League or even the Euro. He's not the best player in the world. He's not the second best player in the world. I mean, top 5, maybe. It should be Kane and Mbappe for sure, 1 and 2. And I would put Vinicius over Bellingham, 100%. He's more dangerous to Real Madrid than Bellingham is. Then you can argue Foden, Musiala. I mean, unfortunately, De Bruyne was injured for pretty much the entire first half of the season, so he's out. Haaland's a ghost. There's no way he should ever win a Ballon d'Or either. But it's just really frustrating that Barcelona literally humiliates themselves. It's not like they got embarrassed and lost 4-0 with 11 men and Real Madrid just destroyed them. It wasn't even anything close to that. Barcelona played a good match. It's just the little things. And a lot of this comes down to tactics, team management, and coaching, and being well disciplined. And unfortunately, you never see that happen to Real Madrid. Why? They don't concede these last-minute goals. They don't get scored on and blow leads because they're smart, they're well-positioned, their formations are correct, and they're always well-coached. Xavi is not a world-class manager. He's not. Barcelona needs a world-class manager, at least someone who's managed for a long time and knows what they're doing. He's been a player for his entire career, not a manager. So yes, he's done some good things with Barcelona. They won some trophies last year. They made it relatively far this year in the Champions League, but you got to get rid of him and get a real manager, get a real CDM, a fast, young left winger, and then I guess work with Hector Fort and Balde as your left back option. And I guess Koundé, work with him on becoming a right back because I think he's a good option for the right back situation. It's just a very disappointing way for Barcelona to end the season. They didn't even draw Madrid. They couldn't save themselves any face. They had to lose, and they had to lose by Jude Bellingham scoring a winning goal. It's just the worst way to lose. Hats off to Madrid because they always find a way to do it. It's not always pretty, but they find a way. And at the end of the day, who cares, right? Because Barcelona's losing and Real Madrid's winning. Real Madrid's in the Champions League and Barcelona's not. It's as simple as that. Until Barcelona can ingrain this winning mentality and get this type of Madrid DNA and culture into their culture, they're never going to win in this day and age because you have to want it. You have to play with passion and urgency. And they don't play that way. They play too relaxed and too casual, and it never works out. That's 2 humiliating defeats for Barcelona in a span of 5 days. 2 good teams that they played, that they were winning against, that they should have beaten, and they didn't. Let me know what you guys think down below. Should Barcelona have won that match? Were they the better team? What did you take away from this match? And I guess moving into next season, who do you want to get rid of? Who needs to go? And who do we need to replace these players with? Because Barcelona's not winning the Champions League next season. They're not winning La Liga, especially if Kylian Mbappe is going to Real Madrid. I don't think they stand a chance. They're going to have to somewhat rebuild with these young players and hope that in 2-3 years they can be somewhat on top again. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. Let me know your thoughts down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you guys back here next time on the GRETT Show.